Russian metals tycoon Deripaska sues U.S. over sanctions. Washington/New York. Reuters. Russian tycoon Oleg Deripaska sued the United States on Friday, alleging that it had overstepped its legal bounds in imposing sanctions on his companies and made him the latest. In a legal filing, Deripaska asked the U.S. District Court in Washington to block the U.S. Treasury Department from using the devastating aluminum company Rusal and its parent company and Plus were hit with the U.S. sanctions in April 2018 when Washington blacklisted billionaire Deripaska along with several other influential Russians, alleging they were profiting off their ties to Russian President Vladimir Putin and from the state's malign. Washington dropped the sanctions on Rusal and Plus in January after an intense lobbying campaign in which Deripaska agreed to sell down his stake in Plus, relinquishing control over his corporate empire in a bid to stave off its ruin. The sanctions on a spokeswoman for Deripaska said he had filed the complaint against the Treasury Department in order to not let his hard work be destroyed by political. The assets that form the core of Deripaska's fortune were acquired during the chaotic sell-off of state-owned mines and factories in the 1990s, following the collapse of the Soviet Union. In the lawsuit, Deripaska said his net worth had fallen by more than $7.5 billion, or about 81%, since the sanctions were imposed. In sanctioning Deripaska, the United States has cited allegations he had ordered a businessman killed and had links to Russian organized crime. Accusations he has repeatedly dismissed as unsubstantiated rumors spread by business adversaries. The deal to lift the sanctions on the companies defied a Democratic-led push in the U.S. Congress to maintain the restrictions. Russia has denied. Reporting by Susan Hevey and Meredith Mazzilli in Washington, Nathan Lane in New York and Anastasia Lirchikova in Moscow. Editing by Rosal.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.